Alright guys, welcome to the Old Glory Red Report, a supporter channel for the supporters, by the supporters. As you notice, Mark's not here with me today. We are doing something a little bit different. Today I am going to bring you the post-match from the Rio Grande Valley game at the weekend, and then we're going to send it over to Mark. He's going to do that pre-match for you, talk about what's coming up against St. Louis on Wednesday. So stick around, check all that out, and we'll be right back with you.
Let's go!
Alright guys, so we took on Rio Grande Valley last Saturday. It was a pretty good game. I think we started out pretty slow. We had that mentality slip like we did early on in the season where we didn't come out playing. We kind of were sleeping early on in the game. Rio Grande Valley did score on us within like 30 seconds. We're kind of becoming infamous as a team that lets teams score very, very early on us. So hopefully we can break that going on in the future. But yeah, like a 30-second goal. They slip it in past our back line. Quintella runs on it. Great movement from them. Great to get on the game real early. Again, they caught our back line just slipping. Cohen was kind of out in no man's land, didn't come out for it, but wasn't really enough on his line to put any real big press against it. So they got us early, down 1-0, kind of left the crowd defeated, kind of left everyone feeling like, oh man, we're going to drop these points here. Rio Grande Valley came out quick. They came out fast the first 30, 40 minutes of the game. I think they played really well. They had really good movement. They had some really good opportunities, some shots on goal. So, all credit to them in the first half. But Republic did grow back into the game. About the 30th minute or so, we started to see a little bit more movement going forward. We did see a little more creativity. Matty Assett kind of stepped up and started playing. Bija started playing, getting into the game. Espina was up on top with Iwasa. I couldn't really tell. There was a lot of movement going on. I'm not sure how that dynamic worked. Maybe that threw off their play early on. Not really sure. There was some formation, lineup kind of changes going on there. Not sure what the coach was thinking on that one. So that might have slowed us up. But coming into the later half of the half, we did pick up momentum. We did see some better movement. We did see some chances. Bija had a really good one. We went in the half down 1-0. We were a little worried there, but coming into the second half, Elliott must have talked to the team, must have said something, lit a fire under their asses, because they did come out playing a lot stronger in the second half. Was it a perfect half? Absolutely not. There was chances missed. I still think there's too much sideways and back passing. We have to have a better creativity and a better thinking going forward if we want to be that kind of attacking team. So I think that's things that still need to be worked on. But in the 61st minute, we did get our first goal of the game. We brought it level off of Cameron Iwasa. 27 goals for him. It's good on him. He's scoring amazing for us. He has in the past. He will in the future. I know he loves playing here because you can see it. 27 goals is the record for the club, passing up Roro. So congratulations to him. You're loved here. You deserve it. Good job. 5-6 minutes later, Jeremy Hall rescues the game, rescues the 3 points with an amazing header. Good ball whipped in by Alleman, had some great pace. Hall was on the back post, got a very clean, very open header on it. Got the ball into the top right corner, got it in the back of the net. Good goal, got the 3 points. Couldn't say more. I'm glad to see him leading at the front, really getting in there. We don't see him scoring a lot or enough, so it was really good to see him in that attacking position. We did get a little nervy towards the end there. Rio Grande got a little bit more possession going back later on in like the 75th, 80th minute. They did have a few chances. The ball did drop around our box a little bit, bounce around like ping-ponging over there. So we were a little bit worried about that towards the end, but Cohen was able to manage us the 2 points, kept clean from there. Got us the 3 points of this game, so it was really good to see from the team. Glad to get another 3 points at home. Really excited about going into this next game. We have a really good set list of teams coming up. I think we can gain some points going there, get up to even second by the end of the season, maybe have a really good spot going into the playoffs. So fingers crossed, keep the momentum going. I'm going to shoot you over to Mark. He's going to talk about St. Louis coming up in just a few days on Wednesday. I think it's going to be a great game. St. Louis did have a pretty good win. I'm sure Mark will talk about that. So stay tuned for that right now.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining me for the pre-match as we look ahead to St. Louis FC. Thanks again, Casey, for that awesome post-match recap of our great win at home against Rio Grande Valley FC. It wasn't the prettiest game, but the guys got the 3 points. They took care of business at home, and it's nice to see us starting to take care of business at home. But let's look ahead. Wednesday, we actually go on the road. It's going to be a tough game for the guys as we travel across the country to St. Louis on a short week. So we're coming right back off that win on Saturday as we head into Wednesday. Tough game for the guys, as not only is it across country, but we're playing a team that's really hot right now. 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in the last 5, and that includes a 3-game winning streak. They've taken care of business at home, just like we have lately. I expect a tough game. They have 7 goals and 2 goals against in their last 3 games, so they're scoring goals, they're winning games, they're playing very well. This is the best stretch that they've had this year. They're also sitting in 9th place, and they have a couple games in hand, so they're looking at jumping into the playoffs picture. They're right outside looking in, but when you look at the standings, you can see them getting to 7th, maybe even 6th here in the next couple weeks or so if they keep their run going. So with that said, I think we're playing another team that's better than their record indicates, as Rio Grande Valley kind of showed us how good they actually have been playing lately. You know, we had a tough game against them. It wasn't easy, but if you look at the standings, it should have been a lot easier. I expect the same out of St. Louis. As you recall, we played St. Louis not too long ago. It was one of our disappointing home results where we actually drew a match 2-2 at Papa Murphy's Park, where we had a 2-goal lead. We had a 2-goal lead. I think the tactics changed. We couldn't figure out if it was a coaching or lack of communication by the players. We didn't know what the problem was, but we played differently with a 2-goal lead about the 70th minute. We sat back, we invited pressure, we get scored on, and then late in the game, right before the final whistle, Nisha commits a foul. One of their players steps up, hits a great free kick. He sends everybody at Papa Murphy's Park home disappointed. We settled for a 2-2 draw when we had a 2-goal lead at home in the second half. Very disappointing result, maybe one of the most disappointing results. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something that the guys remember and maybe a revenge factor comes into play. We'll see what happens, but St. Louis, you know, they are playing well. They have beaten some weaker teams like Seattle and Las Vegas most recently. So, you know, they're not beating the best teams, but you know what? They're taking care of business. They're scoring goals. It'll be a tough game. It'll be a tough game for sure. Players to watch for St. Louis, you have to start with Kyle Gregg. He's their center forward. I mean, they usually play the 2 forwards, but he is the guy to watch. He's got 9 goals. 1 assist this year. He scores, goals with his head, with his feet. A very good all-around striker, so we got to pay attention to him in the box on crosses. You got to pay attention to him getting through. He's a guy who scored goals outside the box, inside the box, so keep an eye on him. Another player to watch, a key player for them, Lewis Hilton, center midfielder. He's the guy pulling the strings. He's got 4 assists and a goal. So don't look for him to get too high, to get behind the defenders, but look for him to spray those balls, especially to Greg. Got to keep an eye on him. I think it's important that we shut down the supply line for Kyle Gregg. And I expect our midfielders like Jeremy Hall to really put a stranglehold on the game. I have 3 keys for this game. The 3 things I think are super important as we head into a tough road game. Number 1, we have to start better than we did our last game. That first half against Rio Grande Valley was a terrible start, not only giving up a goal in the first 30 seconds, but as you looked at that game, I mean, how many saves did Cohen make to keep us in it early? In fact, he was my man of the match just because he kept it at 1-0 when we could have went down 2, maybe 3-0. And I thought because he kept it at 1-0, it allowed our team to get into the game and allowed us to have that big second half. So man of the match for that game, Cohen, but our key to this game is we have to start better. We have to start faster than we did last game. Second key, set piece success. We had 2 set piece goals going into last game. Both of our goals come from set pieces. It was really good to see the guys get 2 goals off of set plays. The first one off a short corner, which I think our team should definitely take advantage of. We need to get some short corners in there because it creates a better angle as the crosses come in. I don't think our initial crosses have been the best this year on set plays. And then Alamon with that second assist and Hall gets a goal. Alamon, a great cross. and we definitely need his left foot on some of those set pieces. When he's out of the lineup, we kind of miss that left-footed player on set plays that require left foot, something that Kiffy had given us for so many years. But that's my second key for success. The third one is replacing Bijev. Bijev is going to miss this game due to yellow card accumulation. He got a yellow card late in the match against Rio Grande Valley, so he will not be available, which means someone's going to have to step up. Other than Awasa, Bijev is usually the player that is creating the most chances, starting plays, crossing the ball in, cutting in, getting a shot on goal. He's usually a player that opposing teams have to keep account of, and they take they can't take him for granted out there. So without him on the field, we're going to need someone to pair up with Awasa to create another attacking force, either from the wing or from the middle. With that being said, I have a predicted starting 11 for this game. I have Cohen in goal, of course. I have Tainer, and I actually have Seiler in the back. I think Seiler will get a start. The last couple games Schmidt has played there, so I don't know if Seiler is going to start for Schmidt or Tainer, but I expect a little rotation. As for the outside backs, I have Horde on one side, Gomez on the other. Consistent there. I would say maybe Turnley gets a run, but he hasn't played in a couple games and he wasn't on the sheet. Neither was Clementis, so I'm not sure what their status is in terms of injury and whatnot, but if both those guys aren't 100%, I expect Horde and Gomez to start. And then in the middle, of course, I have Hall playing. I think Villarreal, even though he's played very well recently, I think he'll get some time on the bench. I think Moffitt will play. I think Moffitt hasn't played in a while. Again, this is a game where I can see some rotation happening, considering it's a midweek game. We have another game at home on Saturday. So all in all, we look at the three midfielders and the forward in this game. Of course, Bijev is out, so replacing him, I could see a guy like Nisha getting a start. He hasn't played in a couple games. He's definitely due for some run. I think Nishaw's on one side. I think Matty Josic goes from playing in the attacking mid role to out wide, maybe also in Bijev's spot on the left side, with the ability to cut back on his right foot. So I look for Matty Josic on the wing. I think Alamon comes into the game and plays in the middle. I think he plays right underneath Awasa as a number 10. He's come back. He's played recently. He hasn't started any games recently, but maybe he's fit enough for 60 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. We'll see. I expect him to get a start here as he's coming back, and he's playing well. And then, of course, I have Awasa playing up top. I think Isley will definitely play in this game. I don't see him starting. It's possible that him and Awasa both start, especially with Bijev being out, but I'm going to go with Isley off the bench. With that said, I'd love to hear your starting 11. Who do you think is going to play in replace of Bijev? What do you think the score is going to be? In fact, on that topic, I know Casey predicted a 1-0 home or away win at St. Louis. I'm a little bit pessimistic. I think we'll get a draw here, which I think would be a good result, but I do think with a quick turnaround and the cross-country flight and everything like that, and Bijev missing the game, I think we settle for a 1-1 draw, which I think would be a great result for the guys, considering that, with all those factors that we talked about. But we'd love to hear your thoughts. Give us your predictions. Let us know what you thought of the last game. Did you attend? Did you have fun? What did you think of the players? But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and, of course, communicate with you on upcoming videos, match previews, and all that good stuff. We do also have that event coming up this Sunday, so if you haven't checked it out yet, please check the Facebook page. We have all the details there. Bands, FIFA tournament, drinks, food. We got it all. It's going to be really fun. Looking forward to it. So, again, thank you for your time. Hit that subscribe below. But love you guys. See you next time. Have a good one.